While many Americans believe it is wrong to abuse, kill, and consume cats and dogs, they ignore the fact that cows, chickens, pigs, and many other animals are being abused and murdered every single day by the thousands. Animals that live on factory farms are tortured, brutalized, and ultimately killed to profit the food industry. According to PETA, there are around 10 billion animals per year that will die on factory farms. These animals are denied the right to do what is natural to them, which is to be free to roam and graze. Factory farm animals are kept inside buildings for their entire lives, never even allowed to breathe fresh air. The Humane Society says that dairy cows are repeatedly impregnated to force them to lactate. Baby calves will be taken from their mother just hours after birth. The mother cows will then be hooked up to milking machines, which will take the milk to sell to restaurants and stores around the world. Ingrid Newkirk, the founder of PETA, has found that cows will stand on hard concrete floors in spaces so small that they cannot even turn around. These cows will be branded and have their horns and their tails cut off, all without the use of any anesthesia. Once they are spent and can no longer produce milk, they will be sent to slaughterhouses. Once there, they will be stunned and hung upside down to be dismembered. According to the Farm Sanctuary, chickens live an even worse life on farms. They are confined to battery cages, so small they cannot even spread out their wings. Hens are forced to lay egg after egg for their entire lives. Male chicks are considered useless after they hatch and will be thrown into a grinder to dispose of their tiny bodies. Female chicks will have their beak and claws cut off after hatching to prevent them from fighting with other chickens. After only months of being alive, these chickens will be sent to slaughter, where they will be shackled upside down. Then they will be dipped into an electrified bath water before having their throats slit. Pigs have been found to be as smart or even smarter than dogs, according to the Humane Society. However, pigs on factory farms will be caged and tortured for their whole lives. Female pigs will be artificially inseminated and forced to birth 2 to 3 litters of piglets every year. After just days of being born, factory workers will take the babies away from their mother. The males will be castrated and have their tails cut off with sharp razors, all without any pain medication. Once they are deemed large enough, they will be forced into trucks and taken to slaughter. Many pigs will not even make it due to extreme weather conditions and starvation. Once the surviving pigs arrive at the slaughterhouse, they will be stunned. However, this does not always render them unconscious. Many pigs will be fully aware of being dipped into boiling water to remove their hair and soften their skin. Ducks and geese are among other animals that are held captive on farms. The Humane Society finds that ducks are confined to cages the size of a shoebox, with only their neck and head sticking through the top. They are never allowed to walk around or even spread their wings. These ducks are kept in this condition to provide the food industry with foie gras. The term foie gras actually means fatty liver and is considered a delicacy for many people around the world. In order to produce this, ducks will have steel rods forced down their throat and then be pumped full of mashed up grain. This causes their liver to grow to a massive size. A PETA investigator has found that many ducks will die of ruptured organs or even aspiration pneumonia, which happens when they choke on their own vomit due to being overfed. The ducks who survive until slaughter will have their throats cut and be forced into a tank of scalding water that removes their feathers. All of these animals are seen only as products to be sold into the meat, dairy, and egg industry. While there are some laws that forbid certain acts to be carried out on factory farms, it is still very legal for animals to spend their entire lives in pain, suffering mentally and physically until they are killed for their body parts. Not only are factory farms cruel to animals, but they are also deplorable environments that are extremely unhealthy to people. Farm Sanctuary finds that factory farms produce high amounts of waste and greenhouse gases that pollute the land, air, and the water. Animal waste from farms is usually stored in open-air lagoons, which affects the quality of the air that we as humans breathe. The Humane Society believes that the pain and torture of these farm animals could be reduced, if not entirely prevented. If more people were to educate themselves on the reality of what goes on in factory farms, many more animals could be saved. Those who are against this type of cruelty could promote and raise awareness about the horrors in factory farms. Becoming a vegetarian or a vegan would help immensely to end farm cruelty. The more people that ultimately stop purchasing meat, dairy, and egg products will be saving the lives of many, many innocent animals. The American Dietetic Association has studied and found that both vegetarian and vegan diets are nutritionally adequate for all ages. According to this, people could stop consuming animal products altogether and still live happy, healthy lives. In addition to this, people would be choosing to let factory farm animals live out their natural life. All animals, regardless of species, have the right to live without being cruelly abused and murdered by humans.